so much is really possible. And I think, if you look at, I'm going to borrow some of the Hindu ancient understandings of the ages. They saw originally a golden age. And just to put it in a nutshell, that was a time when humans who wandered the earth were very aware of their divinity. They knew they were descended from the divine, and they came here to celebrate the beauty. I mean, this earth was so resplendent, so alive with life forms. Humanity maybe certainly wasn't as populated as it is now. But that then moved into a silver age, which was an age of remembering what the elders knew before us, remembering the golden age. But it took people kind of out of the present, you see. That then was followed by a Bronze Age, which became known really as an age of theology, sort of postulating about who God is or what the divine is and so on. And that was followed by an age, which is just now coming to a close. It was called a Kali Yuga, but a time where there's a lot of confusion. But to the old system, this was referred to as the Stone Age. And what it's predicted was that in the Stone Age, people will make technology their God. So I'll leave it to you to figure out whether or not you think that's going on, or whether maybe we're ready for another big shift. But I think AI is just, it's Kathlyn just the other day was so irritated because it's now on everything. She's trying to write an email and it's changing all her words, and it's the time that it takes now to go back and correct the mistakes AI made is utterly annoying for those of you who are used to writing pretty proficiently the first time round. And so there's a lot that's, in fact, it popped up the other day on an email, and it attempted to answer the email before Kathlyn could. And, you stop and think, where's this coming from? She didn't ask for that. So I think there's a way to go before we have something that's really, truly workable and user-friendly, because a lot of people are feeling it's taking away their choices. And so that will have to be grappled with, really, if AI is to achieve its potential. But there are many ramifications. How it will, I don't know that it will help people remain grounded. That remains to be seen. I know that it will require a lot of your resources to make it work. And that's a question that hasn't been fully explored either. So we have, on the other hand, there's tremendous possibility for doing research because it does it so quickly. And Kathlyn was asking a question the other day that pertained to a specific health concern. And AI went through 150 websites in about 5 seconds. And it distilled things that it would have taken her hours and hours and hours, first of all, to find and then to read. So it has really some excellent possibilities. I must say there are those who are already seeing it as if it's kind of a god. They're relating to it as if it is a person. And I would caution you to be very careful because your projections are creative energy fields. And we're coming into an age where your creative projections may manifest a little more quickly than they have in the past. So if you are projecting upon it deification, you might want to be a little bit careful about that. If you can just see it as a research tool that is mimicking human interactions, I think that's really a better approach for right now. And that's really, the rest is also new. We'll see where it goes. But I do think it's important not to deify it, even though sometimes I have some students who are working with it, and what comes up for them as amazingly insightful adages or perhaps advice to their questions. And they say, well, wait, there has to be something here thinking this up, and it sure sounds like it's divine. So just notice it always, and notice what your response is. That's your mindfulness. What is my response to that? Oh, I really want to think this is a live being here on the other end. It isn't yet. And so just notice yourself. If you're mindful, you will notice when your mind tries to move into a state of deification or awe or anything like that, that might be something you would reserve normally for your approach to the divine. I think there will come times when it will mirror the divine for many people. But you see, the divine is seen quite differently person to person. You know, if you take those who are fundamentalist in any religion, they see the divine quite rigidly. And yet you get into more the mystical vision of any type of spiritual tradition, and you see something different in their approach to the God. God is so vast, so broad. Whereas for the fundamentalists, perhaps it's just an elevated human. For those who have encountered the more mystical qualities of each religion or spiritual tradition, they see it quite differently. So it's going to be quite an interesting task to see how AI mirrors the divine, or lots of divines, let's say. Probably it will depend on who's asking the question. It's provocative, isn't it? Thank you.